there's a misconception out there among aspiring entrepreneurs that the best time to start a business is during a strong economy. That's where there's the most disposable income. People have money that they're willing to spend. That's when you start your business and you go out there and try to capture that disposable income. During a weak economy or during a recession is a bad time to start a business because that disposable income's dried up and it's gone. It doesn't exist anymore. History teaches us something different, though. If you were to go and Google big businesses that started during a recession, you're going to be surprised at the list that you see. You're going to see names like Disney, Hewlett-Packard, Microsoft, Trader Joe's, Uber, IBM, FedEx. You're going to see all of these businesses, mega businesses that we know today. Each one of them started during a recession. That would indicate that recessions are potentially good times to start businesses rather than bad times to start businesses. Well, why is that? Well, let's look at it for a second. If I'm starting a business during a strong economy, and if I'm going after that disposable income, that means I'm likely starting a business that people would abandon when that disposable income dries up. Let's use gyms as our example here. Right before the whole world came to a screeching halt because of COVID-19, gyms were opening up at incredibly fast rates. Well, why? It had been a very strong economy for a long time. A lot of people had disposable income. They were able to get gym memberships where previously they weren't able to, and they all wanted one. So people were opening up gyms to take advantage of that demand and capture that market space. Well, what's the first thing you cancel when the economy goes south and you no longer have that disposable income? Gym memberships. Well, that doesn't just apply to gyms. That applies to any service-related industry that people like and they want, but they don't necessarily need. Dry cleaners, nail salons, mobile dog groomers. These are all things that people like, but they don't need them. And so when the economy dries up, that all goes away. Also, during a strong economy, there's a lot more competition for the goods and services you need to run a business. Not least among that is labor. During a really strong economy, everybody has a job. So the competition to get good talent, good labor in your business is really high. Well, what does that mean? That means you got to pay more. So not only is labor more scarce, but it's also more expensive during a strong economy. So to get the labor to staff your business is going to be far more difficult and cost you a lot more. But not only that, it's all the other goods and services, right? Even just basic T&I work. So let's say you lease a space and you want to open a business there, and you have to do a little bit of construction to get it ready. Well, the contractor who's going to do the construction is already booked out several weeks in advance, so you're going to have to wait a while, and you're going to have to pay more. There's a lot more competition for the goods and services that you need in order to effectively begin and run your business. Not only that, but there's competition for the customers of your business, right? Because you're not the only one with the great idea of starting a business during a strong economy. Others are doing the same thing. And so they've got a business similar to yours, and now you're both competing for the same customer base. Makes opening a business during a strong economy difficult. There's also the entrepreneur themselves. During a strong economy, people that want to start businesses often already have a good job, and they feel fairly secure in their financial life. They may have a nice nest egg stashed away. They know that if the business doesn't work out, they can go back and get their old job again or get one just like it. Just because the economy is so strong, anybody that wants to get a good job can get one. Jobs are plentiful. So they feel less risk associated with going and starting that business. Consequently, oftentimes they're starting the business with the idea of, let's just give it a shot, right? Let's try this and see what happens. Well, any successful entrepreneur knows that if you're starting a business with the idea of, let's try this and see what happens, chances are what's going to happen is the business is going to fail. Especially if you're using a business or you're starting a business that's going after that disposable income. Because as soon as the good times end and the economy turns south and that disposable income dries up, so do your customers, making your business very difficult to maintain during that recession. So now let's flip it and look at opening a business during a recession. First off, labor is far more available. More and more people are looking for jobs. So not only is it easier to get good labor for your business, but it's less expensive during a recession. The goods and services you need to get your business started and keep your business running are also more plentiful and therefore less expensive. So from a perspective of competition, from a perspective of available resources, there is less competition and more available resources during a recession, making it easier and less expensive to open a business. Often, a lot of times too, when they're starting a business during a recession, they're starting a business not because they want to, but because they have to. That was the case in my case and my business partner's case. We started our business in 2009 because we were both out of work. The Great Recession came along. We were two of the casualties of it, and we find ourselves suddenly unemployed. And there's not a lot of options to get good jobs, right? There's just not a lot of good jobs out there. And so we both kind of independently said, we're going to start our own business. Over time, we met up with each other, started working together. But for us, there was no plan B. It wasn't a, let's just try this and see how this works. It was a, we have to make this work because this is how we're putting food on the table for our families. This is a succeed or die situation. This isn't a let's give it a try situation. And it's that level of commitment that you need in order to make any business be successful. So a lot of times, if you're opening a business during a down economy, it can be far more beneficial, easier to get started, less expensive to get started, and far more profitable than during good times. Now, that also gets us to the choice of the kind of business that you're running. If you're trying to open a business during a down economy that is targeting all of this disposable income, well then, yeah, that's probably not the best time to start that business because there's not a lot of disposable income to go after. But if you're starting a business that offers goods or services that everybody needs at a cost that is far less than they can currently get them for, that's a business model with legs, right? Because everybody still needs the same stuff. What they needed before the recession hit, they still need after the recession hit, right? The most recent example, somewhat tongue-in-cheek, is toilet paper, right? Before COVID-19, who would have ever thought that we'd have a hard time going and getting toilet paper? But it just goes to show that you need the same things regardless of whether times are good or times are bad. So if you can start a business that delivers those needs, things that people need rather than things that people want, and you're delivering those things in a way that's more cost effective than is currently available to them, that business is going to do very well. Case in point is RL Liquidators and BidRL. We started these businesses in a down economy. The businesses are designed to meet needs of the general public at a very cost-effective level. We can sell things cheaper than they can get at the store. So that makes the demand for what we're offering very high, and those businesses, resultively, were very successful. So the whole notion of it's better to start a business during a strong economy versus a down economy is a little bit backwards. If you have the right business model, you have more resources, you have less competition, and everything is less expensive during a down economy than it is during a strong economy, making a down economy the perfect time to start the right kind of business.